This story begins with a giant monster fighting against some humans. The monster easily defeats one of the humans, but another blonde human tells him not to underestimate the power of humans and cuts the monster in half with his sword. That's when we see our protagonist named Ikia. He thinks that the three of them had managed to kill the demon, so defeating the demons and escaping didn't seem impossible. If they worked together they could defeat them. The boy with blonde hair tells them to come with him. But suddenly another demon appears and kills the two survivors. He tells them that the human race was not strong enough, and they should never forget that they will always be the slaves of the demons. From the depths of the earth came the demons in large part to fight the humans. When humans are confronted with a powerful and unknown monster, the humans lose in every way, and the survivors become prisoners of the demons. The demon asks them if there was still anyone left who resisted. One of the survivors tells the others to join him. Seeing that they had no chance, they join him and start praising the demons. The protagonist was furious that they had become the demons' lackeys and were not going to have a good end, when suddenly a girl named Tauzi appears and hugs him, telling him that she was very afraid. The protagonist hugs her and tells her that she didn't have to be afraid as long as he was still alive. He tells her that this was the only way to go. He was going to cover her while she was looking for a chance to escape. Tauzi insists that they should escape together, but Ikia tells her that he couldn't go with her because he needed to create a distraction for her to escape. If she manages to escape, she had to head south and that's where they would meet. Ikia beats one of the survivor who became a lackey of the demons. Their leader orders his men to kill him. Just when they were going to hit him, the demon appears and hits one of them, shattering his leg. Ikia tells him that he found out that his group was trying to escape, so he attacked them. The demon doesn't care and finishes off the wounded survivor by crushing his head. Ikia tells Tauzi that this was his chance to escape. He tells the demon that he deserved a reward for discovering his plan to escape. The demon hits him, sending him away. One of the survivors tells the demon that a person had hidden in the demon's split body. The demon checks the body and finds Tauzi, and as punishment he was going to eat her. But just in time Ikia arrives and hits the demon, making it let her go. They both start to escape, but are cornered by more demons. The furious demon prepares to attack them. Ikia hugs Tauzi and tells her that he likes her. If they have a next life he would like to marry her. Tauzi, crying, says yes. Just when the demon's blow was going to hit them, the demon is cut in half by Menkai. She was a magical general. She tells Ikia to come with her, telling him that he was going to raise demons from now on. The protagonist refuses because the demons were killing and enslaving humans. Upon seeing his rejection, Menkai forcefully lifts him off the ground. Tauzi tries to help, but retreats upon seeing Menkai's terrifying face. Menkai throws him to the ground and orders the demons to keep him for herself. Both of them are taken separately. After walking for a while, they arrive at a demon's cave. Inside the cave, the humans were separated into 3 rows. One of the demons tells them to stand in the middle. One of the humans asks what the difference is between the middle and the sides. The demon tells him to stop talking nonsense and to get in line, but the human doesn't listen and keeps insisting. The furious demon strikes him, but the human manages to dodge the blow. He tells them that if they were going to make them work hard, they shouldn't use them as their food. Upon hearing this, the other humans panic. Then, another magical general named Lai arrives and tells the human not to cause such a disturbance. Walking in the middle is not considered food in their place. Lai orders them to form lines. Ikia thinks that if being in the middle means not being used as food, it means the sides are used for food. The left side has few people, while the right side is full of the elderly and the sick. One of the humans pushes Tauzi and tells her to go to the right. Seeing this, Ikia runs towards Tauzi and tells the demon that they will exchange places. But he is stopped by a demon. Upon seeing this, Laia asks the demon why he is being treated differently from the others. The demon replies that Ikia was selected in advance by Menkir. Laia tells him that she was Big Mouth Levistanka, she could choose new people, and wonders what kind of human is needed for Menkir's job. She tells the demon that Ikia was for him, and she cuts off the demon's head. He had killed the demon for answering her improperly. Laia tells Ikia to come with him. One of the slaves was being beaten by a demon because he was resting instead of working. Ikia runs and saves the slave from the demon. The demon, seeing this, was going to beat him, but Laia tells him to stop and not hurt him. Ikia looks to the side and sees a hellish scene where humans were being exploited by demons. Laia orders the slaves that because of the newcomers the efficiency must improve. For this week they had to prepare 1,000 demonic homes, and if they didn't finish they were all going to die. One of the slaves, hearing this, says that it was impossible to build 1,000 buildings in 1 week. He would rather die than suffer such torture. The demon approaches and kills him. Laia tells Ikia to come with her since he can't work like them. He takes him to another room. Ikia asks him what was going to happen to those who went to the right passage. Laia tells him that she was getting tired of him, he was just her bargaining chip. If he said another word again she was going to kill him. Ikia thinks that if people who are not food were too oppressed, If they were really to be used as food, they would not survive long. He had to leave as soon as possible to go save Tauzi. He thinks that this place was not the lair of the Guang clan, but a lair that was about to be built. That's why Lai already ordered them to build 1,000 houses. Once the houses were built, more demons were going to surface. He tells Laia that he has an idea to help her achieve his goal of building the 1,000 houses in a week. Laia gives him a minute, although she doesn't know whether to trust him. Ikia tells her that they should not use fear, as it was a negative human emotion and made humans unable to work well. Laia tells him that he just wants to intimidate them and make them speed up, even though it is impossible to build 1,000 houses in a week. He replies that to improve efficiency, he can transform passive work into active work, and the way to do this is to remove the threat to life and replace it with a reward such as freedom. Laia realizes that he only wanted her to free the humans. She was not like the other demons, and she had enough power to kill all the slaves in a week, so he had to think of something else. He tells her that even if it was a lie, there would be hope for the people to have something to work for. He asks her to leave him 2 days and he will show results. Laia calls Yinglu, one of his servants, and tells him to explain everything to Ikia. The two of them leave the room. Meng Kai was outside listening and thinks that if Ikia is useless, she would look for another human. The slaves could not work well because they were too tired. Then Ikia arrives and tells them that the order to finish the 1,000 houses is cancelled, and from now on the job descriptions will not be random, and all those who do their part will be free. The slaves are happy to hear this and thank him. Ikia thinks that now no one could mistreat them for their work. But this boost of encouragement was not enough. He had to look for a more practical way. Suddenly, one of the men told the other slaves not to listen to him. When they entered the demon's lair, he had his brother killed in order to let a woman escape. Before, he was using others for his own benefit, and now he must be getting something in exchange with the demon to say that. Everyone starts to believe him, and the demon tries to attack them, but Ikia stops him. The demon listens to him because he was ordered by Laia. Ikia approaches the man and tells him that he was the one who behaved like a demon dog before. He tells him that he was only there to prevent everyone to die, and he tells him that he was going to get everyone killed just like he did to his brother. Ikia remembers that he killed a person who was a but demon's lapdog. That made him feel good. He killed an unrelated person to save Tauzi, and now he had brought hope to so many people who don't know the truth. So in tears he asks her forgiveness for killing his brother, but the man tells him that it was useless for him to apologize now. With fake tears, crying was not going to pay for his brother's life. When suddenly a boy appears and tells them that Ikia was a good man, as he had saved him before. They had no choice. If whatever happened, they still had some hope. They all start to regain hope. Ikia tells the man that when it is over he will pay for his brother's death. Yinglu calls everyone to line up and pick up their work list. So to make it up to him, Ikia helps the boy to finish his work. The boy tells him that before and after the demon invasion he had only been bullied, but he was the only one who helped him. He thanks him for helping him before and for delivering the good news. He wanted to finish his work as soon as possible and get to the surface, when suddenly he hears cries for help. These cries came from a boy who was about to be attacked by a demon, but Ikia stops him. The demon tells him that the boy had hit him, but the boy says that he had tripped and hit him unintentionally. Yinglu tells the demon that from now on they were restricted to harm humans. The boy goes back to work but finds that his pickaxe was broken because of the monster's acid. Ikia tells Yinglu if he could make the demon spit out more acid, since he thinks it could greatly increase the speed of building the houses. The demon refuses, but they make him force acid out of it. They manage to fill a large container by squeezing every last drop of acid out of the demon. Yinglu tells everyone to line up to receive their acid. Ikia couldn't believe that the demons would use their own kind to improve efficiency. This job was very important for Laia. With the acid and everyone's enthusiasm, they could finish at least 200 homes this week. Seeing these results, he could keep his promise with Laia. On the other hand, Menki's demons are still without solving the problem, since no new demon has been born yet. At this rate, they were going to be destroyed sooner or later. So she decides to recover Ikia from Laia's hands. But a demon named Jaitan tells her that it is better not to approach humans, since humans are inferior beings. Being with them was only going to disturb her mind. But Meng Kai doesn't pay attention to him because his level was too low to be able to give her advice. On the other hand, Laia congratulates Ikia for the motivation and effectiveness of his method. Now she was going to use his method in other places as well. Ikia tells her that in about half a month everything will be done. As a reward, he told him that they were going to be free. Laia tells him that he had asked him before what happened to the people who were sent to the food reserve. Ikia tells her that he wanted her to protect Tauzi. Laia tells him that he will send someone to protect her, giving him his word. But she was going to do it the same way he had promised freedom to the slaves. Ikia realizes that it was better not to have told her about Tauzi. Laia tells him that she will consider keeping them alive when they have done what she wants. Ikia leaves the room and meets Meng Kai. He tells her that he wanted to collaborate with her, but in return he wanted wants to ask her for a favor. Mankai tells him to come with her as she wanted him to do one thing for her. She takes him to a secluded place. Ikia tells her that if she could save the girl who was with him before, she had been sent to the food zone. Since Lai already knew about Taozi's existence, he could only count on Mankai. Mankai replied that she would help him if he taught her how human reproduction was, so that he would cooperate with her for the reproduction of more demon babies. Ikia asks her for the reason, but Mankai tells him that he doesn't need to know so much. If the two of them succeeded in breeding, she would help him save Taozi. Ikia thinks that even though she looked almost human, she had no shame. Mankai was bad for humans. He wanted to find a way to keep her and use her to save Taozi. He tells Mankai that to reproduce a human must be in love to a certain extent. He tells her that he was in love with a human. If she helped him rescue her, he was going to teach her how to do it. Mankai responds him that she didn't need demonstrations and asks him if he can teach him how to fall in love. Ikia thinks that if he can make her fall in love, he can save Taozi and rescue the prisoners. Ikia thinks that she didn't seem very smart, so he asks Mankai if she could show some different emotions. Mankai starts to show different emotions, but she didn't have many emotions because the demons didn't understand emotions well. This was because of the environment they lived in. Ikia wondered if it was possible to make a demon fall in love with a human. He couldn't do it through emotional communication, so it was better to do something direct and simple. Ikia gives Mankai a kiss. After they finish kissing, she asks him if he was attacking her. Ikia tells her that this was how humans made love, but Mankai didn't feel anything, so she tells him that that was the wrong point of contact. Now he should try somewhere else. He tells her that he was allowed to try every place on her body. Ikia touches her horns, then her waist, then her legs, but he is not sure whether to continue. He thinks that even if it was a demon, it was too much for him. Besides, Mankai looked too much like a human. Mankai tells him that now he had to try touching her boobs. Ikia tells her that he could not do so as there was no mutual exchange and only physical contact. This was not a relationship, but a transaction. Mankai gets angry and tells him that she had all the means to verify what he was saying. He had better make her fall in love as soon as possible or else he would suffer the consequences. Ikia calms her down by telling her that it was a gradual process. The faster the harder it would be. Love was not an easy thing to do, especially not between a man and a demon. He tells her it was better to start at the beginning with gifts to get to know each other better. It was an opportunity to discover each other's tastes. A good gift can be a good way to start a relationship. He tells her that it was like a competition. Mankai replies that she had never lost a competition. She starts to leave, so Ikia grabs her by the tail. She starts to go down at high speed, but Ikia tells her that it wasn't a real competition. Ikia tells her they still had to get to know each other before they could guess each other's desired gift. He tells her that he wanted a twin ponytail as a gift. Mankai flies off before he finished speaking. Ikia had to prepare a different gift since she received gifts all the time. In another part of the cave, a woman is thrown into the mouth of a demon. The woman begs for her life, but the demon kills her, and it turns it into a bucket of human flesh. It was not the first one, since there were more buckets of human flesh, and the ceiling hung hundreds of human skeletons that had already been turned into meat. That is where Taozi was with more people, but they did not know what was waiting for them. Suddenly someone arrives and calls Taozi. In a scene change, Ikia and Mankai already had their gifts ready. The first to give the gift is Ikia. With a skull of a demon and a pair of bones, he starts playing a song. Mankai was confused because she didn't know what he was doing, but she doesn't like it, so she decides to show him her gift. Her gift was a servant demon. Ikia doesn't know whether to accept the gift because it was a rather big and dangerous demon. Mankai is angry to hear this, but Ikia tells her that he was satisfied with the gift. She is pleased. Ikia thinks that she did all this because she thought it was a competition. It will be very difficult for him to romance her, so Taozi will have to wait. Mankai asks him what else humans did when they were in love. Ikia tells her that they ate together, walked together, and played together. Mankai takes him by the hand and leads him away. The demon that Mankai had given him decides to follow them. They arrive at a room with food. Ikia hesitates to eat when he sees the food. He asks Mankai if it was human meat. She replies that it wasn't human meat. They didn't want to eat humans if there was something way better. So she shows him an insect. Ikia vomits when he sees the insect. On the other side, Yinglu tells the demons that no one could take Taozi, as Laya had ordered her that no one should take her. Yinglu leaves, saying that he hopes to see her alive the next time he visits her. When Taozi hears this, she is overcome with the fear of knowing that she had the possibility of dying. In the other part of the cave, Mankai starts to get angry when she knew that Ikia did not want to fall in love. Ikia, seeing her getting angry, starts to eat more, and he tells her that he wanted to go to the bathroom. Mankai tells him that the demons stored their energy when they ate, so they didn't have bathrooms, so he had to find his own bathroom. Ikia comes out and is chased again by the demon that Mankai had given him. After doing his things behind a stone, he sees that the demon that Menkai had gifted him was lying dead on the ground. Suddenly a demon appears behind him and asks him if he was Menkai's lover. He told him that from now on he would stay away from Menkai and he had to refuse everything she told him. Ikia had no right to be with a noble demon. He tells him that if he doesn't refuse he will end up like the demon that Menkai gave him. He was Jaitan the demon who gave many gifts to Menkai. Ikia accepts when he sees that he had no choice. They both shake hands and Jaitan leaves. When he returns to Menkai, she asks him where was the demon he had given her. Ikia answers that he had freed it. Menkai starts to get angry, but Ikia calms her down by telling her that it was better for the two of them to be alone as the demon was just a nuisance. Menkai grabs Ikia and flies him away to a place to have fun like the humans did. They arrive at a place far away where some demons greet Menkai, but seeing Ikia with her, one of the demons tries to attack him, but is killed by Menkai. After this they do a couple of activities together. First they pick up weapons, and then they go to watch a demon fight. That's when Menkai starts to look pretty to Ikia, but behind was Jaitan watching everything and he gets angry seeing this. Ikia asks Menkai if she already felt in love. She replies that she didn't, and she tells him that now they were going to play a game. She used to play this in her training with her magic guard. They had to dodge the fire cave where a worm went through the holes and threw fireballs. They had to dodge them until they got tired. But when he saw the worm in action, he doubted if this was really a game. To save Tauzi and the others, he had to find a way to get along with Menkai and make her fall in love with him. Ikia dodges a couple of worms, and just when he thinks his body was getting used to it, he lets his guard down and the worm manages to hit him. He falls to the ground and a fireball was going to hit him, but Menkai saves him. She tells him that humans were very weak, and she wonders why there were so many worms. Ikia realizes that Jaitan was the one who was causing so many worms to come out. Menkai tells him that that was the method of his demonic training, and he was doing well despite being a mere human. Ikia replies that this was the power of love. Menkai tells him that she didn't feel anything and that love was nonsense. Jaitan, seeing this, starts to get angrier and wants to finish Ikia off. Ikia had to find a way to expose his traces, so he keeps a worm in his clothes. After dodging worms for a while, Menkai tells him that his training is over, and compliments him even though he was a human. Ikia thanks her full of wounds. He asks her if she didn't feel anything when he kissed her before. Hearing this, Jaitan gets even angrier and thinks that after everything that had happened today, he was sure that if they kissed again now it would be different. Jaitan couldn't stand it, so he rips a stone from the wall and prepares to attack him with all his strength without caring that he would be exposed. He throws the stone at them, but just before it hits, Ikia saves Menkai from the attack. Menkai asks him if he was okay. He replies that he was fine and that he was just a fireworm that felt irritated by the smell of their love. Menkai replies again that she didn't feel anything, but she realizes that she had just cared about a mere human and really doubts if she now felt in love. Menkai calls him and kisses him, and she leaves telling him that they will continue tomorrow. Ikia comes to the conclusion that demons did not understand human emotions, but as time went on they developed the same feelings as humans. His plan was to use Menkai to save Tauzi tomorrow. In the other part of the cave, Menkai scolds Jaitan and tells him that from now on he will have to work somewhere else. She thinks that why Jaitan had interfered when she was just starting to feel very much in love with Ikia. This is the end of this video. If you like to see the next part, don't forget to like and subscribe.